3, 2, 1. Good evening from Southwest High School in El Centro, California. I am Tom Runco. With me tonight is Brawley coach Don Biaggi, and we are set to bring you exciting 2021 Imperial Valley League football. It is the league opener for the hosting Southwest Eagles and the visiting Brawley High Wildcats. And this is a field where the Wildcats have had various fortunes over the years. The two schools have always played well here, so we will see if that continues tonight. About 10 minutes before kickoff, and we wanted to just bring you up to date on the two teams as they come into tonight's game. First of all, the Wildcats opened up on the road, losing to top 10 ranked Mater Dei over in San Diego, 53-21. Then they played Division II Valley Center at Valley Center, losing to the Jaguars in a very closely contested game, 17-6. The Wildcats then finished a 3-game road trip, make it 4, including a trip to El Capitan High School in August to play in the CIF Kickoff Classic scrimmage against Scripps Ranch. And the road-weary Wildcats still came up with a win at Indio on a Thursday night, 48-13. The Wildcats then made their home debut, and it was September. On September 10th, they hosted the Cibola Raiders and defeated the Raiders 49-8. Next week, Gila Ridge ended up with bus problems, so a season with 2 Thursday night games added a Saturday night game. The Wildcats prevailing in that one, 49-13. Then last Friday night, in a honey of a football game, it was the Brawley High Wildcats coming up with an overtime 20-14 victory over Fallbrook. And Don Biaggi, last week, the Wildcats started out a little bit slowly and then found themselves in a slugfest when they decided to get serious.
Yeah, that's a very weak area of any football team where you don't get a rhythm going early, whether you're driving it down for a score or just driving it down. But they didn't get anywhere at that time. And so it took them a while to get going. A couple of smash mouth hittings, both sides coming on, woke up both teams, and then it became an outstanding football game.
Okay, well, we'll see what tonight becomes, and we talk about the Southwest Eagles. The Eagles come into tonight's game with an overall record of, hold on, let me get it back up there. They are 2-3. The Eagles had last Friday night off. A lot of the teams were able to manage that 6th-week bye, which means they played 5 preseason games, had a week off, and now will finish out with the remainder of their schedule. And having that, kind of week off in the middle of the season sounds like a pretty good idea, doesn't it, Coach?
Yeah, it gives all the teams a chance to have 1 week to recover, take care of any injuries, smooth out some bad plays that they can be made good in the future. And it's a very positive effect on everybody.
Well, it didn't have a positive effect on the Brawley High Wildcats because Brawley didn't have the bye. Due to scheduling conflicts, Brawley will not get its bye until a week before the Bell game, which is 3 weeks away. What happened, therefore, is that Brawley did not get a time to heal, and Isaiah...
Part of your leg, it takes more out of you than most people think of. That's got to heal. Good ice treatment, contrast baths, hot and cold, continuously during the day, even about an hour and a half apart, can help make a healing very well. Plus, good electrolytes in the system all the way through all the day can help bring forth the healing is necessary. So if he takes he can protect the shots.
So he will, Isaiah will not play tonight. The Wildcats are assuming he will be back next week when they host the Imperial Tigers, and we'll be bringing you that game next Friday night. Key Imperial Valley League game. They're all key. There's only like 4 of them now that Palo Verde has been relegated to the Desert League. We're going to step back for a moment and allow the Eagle Band to play the national anthem. Okay. Oh, let's try this again. Okay, that was our national anthem. Tom Rodko, Don Biaggi coming to you. And if you are hearing a bunch of noise in the background, that's because this is not called Freeway Stadium as a joke. You're hot. Oh, okay. It is not called Freeway Stadium as a joke. It is right next to the freeway, and we are outside. Beautiful night, beautiful view, beautiful everything, but lots of traffic on Interstate 8. So once in a while you hear a truck go by. When my partner was Andy Burnett, somehow or other truckers must have known they had a fellow redneck up here, because they used to honk all the time going by. I think they were just friends of Andy. But we hope not too many recognize us tonight and did not interrupt our webcast. You are watching the webcast on the Desert Review and on Facebook and YouTube. The Desert Review on Facebook and YouTube. Okay. And we have some new stuff for you. We'll get to that in just a moment. Let's quickly catch you up to Southwest. The Eagles opened the season losing to the Hodeville Vikings, who, by the way, are 4-2 after losing last night to the Imperial Tigers by a score of 14-8. Great ball game there. Hodeville won 36-29. Then Vincent Memorial came to town. This is also Vincent Memorial's home field, and it was a victory for the Eagles, 28-27 on the last play of the game. Southwest then went up to play University City in San Diego, and the Centurions turned it on, 75-6 over the Eagles. Then the Yuma High Criminals came on a Saturday, and the Southwest Eagles were able to defeat them 48-6. So they've been on both sides of lopsided scores. And then just before the break last week, their bye, they lost 56-0 to the Santa Fe Christian. I don't think they're the Warriors. They're the Warriors now. They used to be the Navigators. Now they're the Warriors. That's what kind of got me. Back in the day, Santa Fe, of course, right on the coast, so Navigators worked. So let's see what happened. Coin flip, and Southwest Eagles won the toss, deferred to Brawley. This has happened all year long. I don't know, Don Biaggi, that Brawley has won a toss.
I don't think so, according to your records. They didn't last week, and hopefully that's not a bad omen, that they can get going early tonight and set a trend of rhythm that they need that they didn't have last week in the early stages.
What we will see tonight again is an Isaiah Young-less Brawley High Wildcat offense. Last week, however, he was on a bad leg, was not running very well, understandably so. And in came Tanner Carranza and ripped off 20 yards on the first play. So if the line does their job, pretty easy to run behind it.
Absolutely. The line is the key, and anybody who does have a bad night, their backup that comes on in has got to step up at all times. That's what he's been waiting for, and he sure did last week.
Okay, we are going to have deep for the Wildcats. Number 4, Brian Portis. He's a sophomore, a true sophomore, which means this is basically his first season of football. No freshman. There was no freshman in the pandemic year. And also back there is a number 6, Daniel Camilo Jr. So a little theatrics by the school with the big theater here in El Centro, and that's about it. And we're going to see, it's going to be a pooch kick, and the Wildcats are going to come up, and it's going to be taken and falling down right away. Smart play for the Brawley High Wildcats is Aiden Torres. So Aiden Torres looked like he had ideas that he might turn himself into an offensive player, but Brawley's defensive cornerback quickly got over that impulse and went down, which is what he should have done. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats, trying to see where the ball is. And the ball is at the Southwest 35-yard line, it looks like. And we'll see what the play is. Ethan Gutierrez is your quarterback, the junior in his 3rd year, including a pandemic season. So not quite. Give him about 2.5 years coming in, or a year and a half coming in. And in the backfield, I believe, is Tanner Carranza. They put a man in motion, and the give is going to be to Carranza. And Brawley starts every game with pretty much the same play, Don, so as a defensive coordinator, you don't have to do a whole lot of homework. I believe that was Carranza, and he's going to pick up just a yard.
Yeah, the pack just crushed on down. They were schooled on that pretty well from the scouting report. Now they're set up for whatever happens. Fake into him, a pass, or a fake and a pitch.
Here we go. They're going to take it outside. It's Don Biaggi called. And nice little run out there. I believe that's number 24 for the Brawley Wildcats. And that's going to be, we can't call him Tweety, Gilbert Corrales. And Corrales picks up about 4 yards. And a lot of guys are going to pack the mail, Don Biaggi, because in Brawley, your lead back, which would be Isaiah Young, who is out tonight, he gets like 30 carries. So you got to spread that over somebody else.
Well, you got to use 2 different guys because then you can at different times or at the same time to keep them off balance. 44 covered pretty well for the Southwest Eagles.
Okay, here we go, and it's going to be a give up the middle, and this is Carranza, and he makes a nice little move, and he just keeps fighting his way forward, and Carranza is going to be all the way into Eagle territory at the 48-yard line.
Number 42 for the Cats. That's Tanner Carranza.
So Carranza with a nice little run there, Don.
Yeah, there's a little deception of a pitch and a handoff and a pitch, and they caught him looking, and he had a wide open corner to make the turn on, and then he had his shoulders leveled and was able to hit and carry 2 or 3 tacklers with him.
Okay, so 42 with a 12-yard gain brings up a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the Southwest 48-yard line. Out of the shotgun for the first time tonight is Gutierrez, and he keeps it and weaves his way through. Gets a little, Southwest gets a little help from the referee, but once Ethan Gutierrez gets around the rotund referee, he is off to the races, and at 9:49 in the first quarter, the Brawley High Wildcats have scored as Gutierrez runs 48 yards for a Brawley touchdown.
Yeah, they really had the defense on the Southwest off balance. They all were spread out wide, and then when he made that fake, they bit, and then he was able to have a wide open up the center and gain a great cutback, and he had a great block for the last one, carrying him into the end zone.
Okay, like to remind you, Wildcat football, brought to you by Wildcat Broadcasting and the Desert Review. It's brought to you by Vision Care Center, Doc Barnitsky on Main Street, One World Beef Packers, Ojeda Industries, The Man Company, Clicka Parker Insurance, Johnny's Burritos in Brawley, El Centro, and Imperial, Hart Insurance Centers in Brawley and El Centro, Fry Chapel and Mortuary, also by Desert RV, Brant Beef, and A&R Construction Company. So we will be dropping those in as we get an opportunity. So at 9:49 to go in the first quarter, Brawley has jumped out to a 7-0 lead. And Don, as you pointed out, the Wildcats took advantage of the deferred kick and put some points on the board. And now Southwest is going to have to see how they can answer. PAT by Jorge Haro was good. Now Haro tries a pooch kick, and Southwest is going to return it. So the difference that time was Southwest was ready for it, caught it on about the 35, advanced it about 4 yards. But one team expecting it, Coach, and one team not.
Yeah, that's very true. He angled that way, and you can't kick that too far. You're going to be out of bounds, and you're trying to get them to fumble it almost like an onside kick. Well executed by both teams.
Okay, 1st and 10, Southwest Eagles, first possession of the night, and they are at their own 39-yard line. This is Logan Youngers at quarterback, and he is going to give the ball to somebody at the bottom of the pile.
72 and 32.
Okay, I'm trying to see who the ball carrier was. I believe it was Can't see his number. Very hard to see these numbers.
Alan Carrillo on the tackle on that one.
Okay, for the Wildcats. And here we go. This will bring up 2nd and 9.
22 with the ball.
22 is the ball carrier.
77 and 17 on the tackle. Robert Platt. And 77 for Brawley.
Levangelist Pittman. I know, it's kind of like evangelist without the E. Levangelist. All right. Okay, that's a pickup of about +3 yards. So it'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Eagles at the southwest 44-yard line. They throw it out in the flat, and it is picked off. It is an interception out there. And let's see who came up with that football.
It's tipped in the air, and it is intercepted by the Wildcats.
I didn't see who. 17, was that Platt with the interception?
That's who came off the bottom.
Okay.
There were so many Brawley Wildcats there blocking and protecting the ball that it was hard to tell and then the jump on by Southwest.
Okay, all righty. Well, it's a turnover, and now the Brawley High Wildcats will take over at the Eagle 44-yard line. And Ethan Gutierrez is right back out there. He's out of the shotgun. Lone back is Tanner Carranza, and he holds it again. Same play as he scored on. Weaves and weaves, and he is going to have a nice gain down to the 30-yard line.
Before he can move the chains once again for the
that defensive three-man front they have, and they have the linebackers out wide, and he made a good fake on that to his running back, and when he moved out, that lane was there again. They did close a lot faster than the first score.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, Ethan is, a lot of these players he's playing against remember him, but remember he was 13, barely 14 years old when he quarterbacked when he started. He is a young man right now. 7:46 to go. Brawley up 7-0, and he's going to keep it again. Oh, now he's going to throw back to number 6. That is Daniel Camilo Jr., and now they're going to throw a flag. Is that an illegal pass or something?
That's not a pass.
We'll see what this flag is all about. There was nobody near him, so I didn't see anybody blocking for him. Well, here's the referee. They're going to call holding.
It'll be holding called on the Wildcats, so that touchdown will not count.
I didn't see anybody near him. Did you?
No, there was blockers that were 10 yards from him, and
you got to ignore those, Mr. Referee. You just got to ignore those. Okay, so penalty, and actually they're going to give him credit on first down. So that's 13-6 for a +4 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 6 at the Southwest 26. And here we go. And it's going to be Gutierrez again. And again, he's got the trailer, and again, he's weaving his way. And he's down inside the 10, and he's going to go down. Nope, it's going to be a touchdown. So 13, Gutierrez is going to go +26 yards. And it's going to be another touchdown for the Brawley High Wildcats. And it is now Brawley 14 and Southwest 0. And we have 6:51 to go here in the first. And in to try the PAT is Jorge Jarro. And Jarro with a nice, long, looping kick. And Jarro, who plays varsity soccer for the Brawley Wildcats and is a standout, has played on this field, only it's called a pitch when he plays soccer here, so he is no stranger to the grass.
Yeah, I've been watching the defensive lineup on the Southwest Eagles. They're playing a three-man front over center, 2 outside on tackles. And then the linebackers are good 5 yards off of the area and from the line of scrimmage, maybe as much as 7. And it just opens. It's just a quick shadow block and a running back hitting. you hold that for a second and a half, and you got a wide open lane there before they can react to it. They're playing more of a pass defense in the linebackers and back than actually the run, and they've got wide open holes for Brawley all over the place.
Ball back once again.
Nice play, and remember that drive also had a touchdown call back.
As we get up.
So
Oh,
I'm looking for this week. There we go. All right, and it's going to be taken at about the 14-yard line, fumbled, and then the Wildcats are going to make a clump out of that. Whenever you have an interruption like that, it tends to kind of get things,
ball's gonna be spun.
it throws off everybody's timing. You're assuming the back's coming a certain way, and then he fumbles and goes another way, and then you're just out of sync.
Yeah,
Is that a nice way to describe it?
It gives the defense a chance to regroup and surround him, and that's what they did, and they put him right down on the ground.
Okay, so Southwest is going to start this drive on their 20-yard line. And the Brawley High Wildcats are in their traditional defense. And this is a give to number 22. And he has a nice little gain off of the right side of the line.
Yeah, that same area opened up last week, as did on this one here. They got the block on the end and the tackle, and it gave the lane, and by the time reacted to it, they got a good 5 yards. So the boys have got to stay at home a little better.
Okay, a little over enthusiasm, and on 2nd and 5,
Once again on the carry.
they're going to give number 22 the carry again. This time he tries to go up the middle, but he picks up 4. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down for Southwest and 1 from their own 29-yard line. And let's see what the Wildcats can do. Some on defense. And you're going to have kind of overloaded a wide receiver and a slot to the right. And they're going to give it inside to number 22. And he runs pretty well. Breaks a couple of arm tackles at the line of scrimmage. And he's going to be out for a 1st down.
Yeah, well executed. Offensive line beat the Wildcats off and was able to make sure they got that at least 1 yard and came up with a lot more. Very good run. And then the swarming Wildcats put him down.
Okay, picks up 5 on that, out to the Southwest 34. And quickly out of the huddle and ready to go. And here comes 22 again. And this time the Wildcats, I can't see who's down low. Maybe you can pick up Don, who's at the bottom of that pile. It looks like number 24, there's the Corrales again.
67 was in on the tackle as well.
Okay, 67 for the Brawley High Wildcats is Bernie Bustamante. So Bernie out there with a tackle. And Southwest quickly right back out. They are going to have a 2nd and 9 from their 35-yard line after 22 gets a +1. And again, a long snap to Logan Youngers, and this is 22 again. And 22 does have a name. His name is Esteban McDonough. Esteban McDonough. McDonoughh.
Alan Carrillo for the Wildcat just blew right through and hit him in the ankles and tripped him on up. Great play, great quickness.
Okay, so another gain of 1, and suddenly Southwest finds themselves with a 3rd and 8 at their 37-yard line, and it is a pass. Logan Youngers out there has a man open, and it's a catch. Coming down and driving the defender, that's Washington, number 5 for the Wildcats. They drove him down and then came back to the ball. Nicely executed pass play, and that's going to be from 10 to number 3, was that?
3, yes.
Okay, 10 to 3, and it's going to be a Southwest 1st and 10 at the Southwest 45-yard line. And quickly out of the huddle, trying to keep it up tempo. And 22. It's going to be a give to 22 again. And so Southwest falls behind 14-0 early in the first quarter, but then starts to move the football, Don Biaggi.
Yeah, the Eagles have a good right side. They're getting out quickly, and then the back is following the lineman as they kind of do a corridor line shield on him, and he's got plenty of room to run off their shoulders or just bump off each one before the Wildcats can come down and bring them down. It's well executed, well designed.
Okay, this is going to be a gain of 5. Well, actually, it is 6. It's a short 4 for the Southwest Eagles. And it's going to be a snap this time.
No,
Logan Youngers is going to keep it, and he weaves his way. Takes a page out of the, and Youngers is going to weave. Again, a nice little option look. Taking a page out of the Brawley book. And it'll be 1st and 10 Southwest at the Brawley 44-yard line. So a pickup of the 5 that he needed. That's Logan Youngers. I believe he is a sophomore. He played as a kind of freshman in 2020 and had to take over a quarterback when schools were scrambling for players. Now he looks over the Wildcats as they shift a little bit, and they're going to give it to 22, but 22's corralled immediately out there by number 42 for the Brawley High Wildcats. That is Tanner Carranza. And Carranza going both ways, so we'll see how his stamina is. But nice solo tackle there for no gain, Don. All right, 2nd and 10. Logan Youngers in the, and now they switch to tight end to go strong to the right, but with a receiver and a slot on the left. Youngers back to pass. He's going to throw out in the flat. Wide open is the old tight end. And nice pitch and catch. Number 88 makes the catch.
12 on the tackle.
And Aiden Torres comes over to make the tackle, but he's a little late to the party. Not too many people throw to the tight end anymore, Don Biaggi, which would have put you out of business at Albany High.
No, that was good. That was a well laid out plan here. They haven't done anything. They just go right, left, and right, left. And this time they tried the middle and met the big guys up front.
Okay, at the 21-yard line, it was 1st and 10 on the Brawley 21 for Southwest, and they give it to 22, but 22 is going to lose 2 yards. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 12 from the Brawley 23-yard line. And one thing about Brawley, Don, is you get closer to the coach, and there it is. That's the end of the first quarter.
All right.
A look at the scoreboard. Brawley 14, but Southwest Eagles not necessarily knocking on the door, but they are coming up the walkway.
Just want to remind everybody about the Booster Club snack bar on the
And we will step back for these announcements.
all your favorite snacks and drinks for tonight's game. Appreciate you guys coming out tonight. Nice and cool evening. Enjoy the game. Enjoy some snacks and beverages. Also, we have the fall sports program available.
And it's presented on thedesertreview.com and on Facebook at The Desert Review. Brawley Football is sponsored by Hart Insurance Company, the Dam Team for Real Estate, Johnny's Burritos in El Centro, Brawley and Imperial, Ojeda Industries, and the Man Company. This webcast is being brought to you by the Desert Review and Wildcat Broadcasting, and is presented on thedesertreview.com and on Facebook at The Desert Review. Brawley Football is sponsored by Hart Insurance Company, the Dam Team for Real Estate, Johnny's Burritos in El Centro, Brawley and Imperial, Ojeda Industries, and the Man Company.
Okay, welcome back to Freeway Park, or Freeway Stadium, or Freeway Field, whatever you want to call it, on the campus of Southwest High School. It's been here now for, I believe, 22 years. Ruben Valenzuela, their AD, is going to come up, join us at halftime and chat a bit. So we'll find out a little more about that. Meanwhile, on a 2nd and 12, Logan Youngers goes out to pass. He is flushed out of the pocket, and he slides because zeroing in on him. And I think Robert Platt ran into him. Are they going to call that roughing the passer?
Logan Youngers on the run.
this official on this side is
There is a penalty marker on the field.
not very good. I mean, Platt, number 5 could have really taken his head off for the Brawley High Wildcats, and that's Washington. And he stopped, and I tell you, this is a second major penalty. And I know the guy's on the southwest sideline, but he better, he's missing a heck of a game. Okay, 11:50 to go. Brawley up 14-0, as you can see. Major penalty, however.
After the penalty, ball's going to be spotted at the 9-yard line.
That one
Penalty.
there looked like there was a little over
First and goal, Southwest.
pursuit by the Wildcats. And when Jungers came around, there was too far back. And then they came over and came up fast. And then he ran to the sideline to get out of bounds. That's what caused the penalty.
Till he's out of bounds, he's fair game. He becomes a runner when he ceases to pass. All right, first and goal from the Southwest 9 for the Eagles. They give it to number 22, and he is going to lose a yard back to the 11.
Brawley sniffed that out rather quickly. Looks like that they're picking up the blocking scheme by Southwest. Let's see if they continue it. And the scheme will tell them where that ball is going to go.
Okay, second and goal from the Southwest 11 now. And 22 remains in the backfield. That's McDonough. And also back there is Logan Youngers. Now he has a wide receiver on the left and right. Tight end moves to the left, slot on the right, and he's going to try to throw, but he is going to get buried. He took one look, and the last thing he saw was number 77, Levangelis Pittman, and that was it. Lights went out.
He broke from that left side, knocked off the blocker, and the halfback couldn't do anything and went right over him and got a hold of the quarterback.
Okay, so now it's going to be third and goal, and suddenly Southwest finds themselves on their 19-yard lines. So on 2 plays, they have lost 10 yards. And there's going to be a timeout by the Wildcats, which is interesting, T.O. Brawley. Want to make sure they're in the right defense, Don, because they have been burned for a couple of pretty good-sized plays.
Yeah, that time, as I mentioned earlier, line play of the offensive team will give you the scheme of where that ball is going to go. And the lineman did a good job of picking up what was happening on that. And for 2 plays in a row now, this third play will be a little bit of deception, I believe. And so they're going to have to watch their marks and not overrun.
Okay, we'll be back.
Tonight's Desert Review broadcast of the Wellington High School football game is sponsored in part by Dr. Donald Brunetsk of Vision Care Center. Located at 260 Main Street in Brawley, Dr. Brunetsk provided adult and children's vision care treatment of eye diseases and contact lenses. Phone 760-351-2020. Go Brawley Wildcats and Dr. Brunetsk of Vision Care Center.
Okay, welcome back to Freeway Park. Third and goal for the Southwest Eagles, trailing 14-0. And here comes the whole ranch. And Logan Youngers tries to get rid of the football in a hurry and throws it. And up there to get it is number 17. And that is... It is going to be intercepted by number 17, Robert Platt. And Robert, again, we like to mention, because he is an ex-student, an ex-player of both Coach Don Biaggi and myself, is the grandson of Jay Platt. And Jay would be very, very pleased that he has turned out the way he has. And I am looking because I also have his parents. His dad is Robert Platt. And I will get Mom's name in a moment because they should be equally proud as well. Well, we'll have a second here, and we are going to try
taken off the field once again by the Wildcats.
Let me get out here and try something else.
We'd like to remind everybody.
Score is 14-0 in favor of the Brawley High Wildcats. And we
Savapa dance this evening at halftime. So please.
Let's see what we come up with over here. And we're going to give it a try. Here we go.
Exciting Brawley High Wildcat football is brought to you by Desert RV, locally owned and operated by Joel Gonzalez. Joel and his crew offer RV storage and service and now offer auto body repair and paint as well as a full line of truck accessories. Stop by Desert RV at 1552 Main Street in Brawley or call them at 760-344-9200. Desert RV, a proud sponsor of Brawley Wildcat football.
Okay, welcome back. Well, the interception is a turnover, and it's suddenly now Brawley football again with 10:05 to go. So the Eagles look like they might be climbing immediately back in, and the Wildcats may go up a little bit more. Daniel Camilo Jr., oh, nice comeback block, springs him. Holy Toledo, who laid the block out here? And here goes Daniel Camilo.
It's 44.
And I don't see any laundry. What a comeback block. Did you see that? 44?
44.
That was Brody Van Divert. I think it's 42. Tanner Carranza came back with that block. I don't believe the 44 is on the field, but it's close enough. Or is he coming off? No, that's 42 coming off. Great. Oh, my goodness, what a block. Huh, Donald?
Yeah, that one there is what they did down here, and that last block that we scored a touchdown that was called back. The same thing happened. Nice block right in there and flattened them out just like that one there. That's good blocking, good play.
79 yards and a touchdown for the Brawley High Wildcats. And we're going to step back and do a little business.
Nationwide is on your side, so you're coming on, kid, look alive. You've been saving for a big man cave. Good luck with that, Dave. So many things you're doing with your life. Nationwide is on your side. Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
For all your many sides, there's Nationwide. Call Hart Insurance Center, 898 Main Street, Brawley, or in the Prince Plaza, 1503 North Imperial Avenue, El Centro. Since 1945, we have a heart for personal service.
Wildcat football is brought to you by Johnny's Burritos with locations in Brawley, Imperial, and El Centro. Johnny's with a full menu of your favorite Mexican and American food and the best burritos in town. That's Johnny's Burritos. Go Wildcats from Johnny's Burritos in Brawley.
Okay, back at Freeway Stadium, the Brawley High Wildcats have scored on some pretty nice plays and lead 21-0 with 9:52 to play here in the second quarter. This is a deep kick by Hotto and running around out there, and he was making some progress. And Don, they always stop and think they can actually juke 5 tacklers, and it doesn't happen, and down he went.
Yeah, 31 was with a very good Chris Camilo, very good tackle.
His brother Daniel Camilo Jr. just scored the touchdown. He is a junior, and Chris is a sophomore. So,
and to the listeners and watchers down here, you need to watch not only the person who's running, but you want to see the people around him, because there's what makes a touchdown or a good tackle or a mess up of any kind to the opposition, whether it's Brawley doing it or whether it's Southwest doing it. And that's where the game is really being played.
I'm Tom Ronco with Coach Don Biaggi. And suddenly now they're going to call a delay of game. So there's going to be a penalty.
5-yard penalty.
Delay of game, -5. So it's going to bring up a 1st and 15 for the Southwest Eagles, now move back to their 24-yard line. And you can excuse them from being a little shell-shocked. But Brawley has come at them fast and furious on both offense and defense. Although last time, Don, they had a 1st and goal from the 9-yard line.
Absolutely.
So let's not count anybody out just yet. And we won't. That's a bad habit that we try to avoid. Empty backfield for Logan Youngers, and he's going to try to get the pass off, but nobody's free.
72.
And 72 in there for the sack is Alan Carrillo, and I told you to be looking for him. And Youngers took a deep drop.
By Southwest.
And you do that when you empty the backfield, you had better have somebody open. What would you say, a 5 count, Don?
Yes.
At most. At most. Probably, you count in your head if you're a quarterback. 1, 2, 3, and you better be getting rid of that football.
The ball's on that particular case, he had about 1.5 to 2.5 seconds to get that ball out. He broke through like nobody was there to block him, and when he retreated, Youngers retreated, he was able to reach out and grab that jersey of his and then just pulled him down like he was tissue paper. Very strong young man.
Okay, so now it is 2nd and I believe 26, if that looks right. 2nd and 26 as Southwest is back on their own, looks like 12-yard line, and we'll see what they come up with. Youngers with a high snap is going to give it to 22, and he is going to advance from the 12. No, he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Robert Platt got in there quickly and brought him down in the backfield there for no gain.
All right, no gain.
Brawley's picked up the rhythm of Southwest right now and are pretty much doing what they want. They're looking back as it pass, which it is.
And a throw out, and it skips off the hands of the tight end. And that was number 88. He runs into Platt, and they exchange pleasantries. And it's going to be 4th down.
88 looks like a receiver that they could utilize more than they have because he's got that ability to get down, but in that particular case, that would have been a great comeback pass to him. He's not afraid to go up after that ball. So that's what I said. You got to look at other areas besides of what's going around because that makes the game.
Trailing 21-0, and now they're going to get caught, and it's going to be is it a safety? No. He is down
on the 1 or 2 yard line.
On the 1 or if it's not a safety, it's the closest thing to it. You couldn't stick a sheet of binder paper between that ball and the goal line. That is as close as you're going to ever see to a safety. How they didn't call, he might have just had forward progress, and wow. Okay, so on 4th down, a punt, punter tackled. On the 1 yard, punter tackled. Okay, Brawley now comes up with a 1st and goal from the 1 yard line. And with 8:50 to go, Wildcats looking to add to their lead. Lone running back is Tanner Carranza, but there are 2 wings. One of them, Carrillo, goes in motion. Tanner has a touchdown.
42.
So number 42, Tanner Carranza, he goes the 1 yard. And we have another touchdown for the Brawley High Wildcats.
8 minutes, 48 seconds remaining.
It now is Brawley 20. Well, we'll see what happens with the kick. 27 with 8:48 to go here in the 2nd quarter. And again, don't go anywhere. Southwest showed life when they had a decent field position, but they just started with that penalty, Don, and it was the wrong way to get going. The kick by Haro is up. And it is good. Jorge Haro with his 4th extra point, and it is now 28-0.
There's a flag thrown on that. I think it would be roughing the kicker.
Or the holder.
The kicker.
Oh, they ran into
Jorge.
Jorge.
Or the holder. Yeah, one of the two.
Jorge's a soccer player. He's used to people running into him. That's part of soccer. Come on. He's all right, but that's not football rules. Okay, we're going to step back for a moment and be back.
Tonight's Brawley Wildcat football is sponsored in part by the fine folks at Fry Chapel and Mortuary Crematory, always providing the service and care needed for a peaceful eternal rest. Located at 799 South Brawley Avenue in Brawley. Phone 760-412-5537. Go Brawley Wildcats from Fry's Chapel and Mortuary Crematory in Brawley.
Against Brawley.
No, it shouldn't be.
It is.
Brawley was the one that was on the ground.
Okay, welcome back, Don Biaggi. Coach Don Biaggi. Yep, the guy you all knew and loved in social studies, track, cross country. Hey, let's take a little run out to Weast Lake when it's 112 degrees. That Coach
You
Don
betcha.
Biaggi.
You
That Coach
betcha.
Don Biaggi is back here. And he is with me. But again, if you weren't with me last Friday night when Don helped me with the Fallbrook game, quite a football pedigree, and we will get into that in a moment. But first, we're going to have Jorge Hotto kick off with the Wildcats leading 28-0 with 8:48 to go in the second quarter. And the kick is up, and it is going to be caught. Oh, and no blocking. I would just kind of call that no blocking. And the Southwest Eagles will again try to move the football. Logan Youngers is the quarterback. It will be 1st and 10 for Southwest at their own 28-yard line.
1st and 10 for Southwest.
Okay, and we will see what happens. But Coach Don Biaggi with me here, a member of the Albany High School Sports Hall of Fame undefeated football team. I left the year out just in deference to you.
1957.
There you go, 1957. Game hasn't changed a whole lot, has it?
No, blocking, tackling, and running for the open space.
Youngers tries to pass, and coming in there to get him is number 31 for the Brawley High Wildcats, Chris Camilo. And the Wildcats now, and I got news for you. I'm looking at the players, Don, and Southwest seems to have some pretty healthy-looking young men on that line.
Yeah, and I don't know quite what happened. They had that wonderful drive. They had a lot of confidence, and then all of a sudden it's gone away in these last two segments of the game.
Okay, yeah, second series where Southwest has now, again, been sacked. And that is going to bring up a 2nd and 21 from the 17.
I don't know. That time the line just stood up on a handoff, and Brawley just puts the lineman all the way back and surrounded the running back with their own lineman and made the tackle. I mean, they really didn't have to do anything. I don't know what's happening out there right now.
Minus 4 yards, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 24 from the 14-yard line. And now we've got a flag in there. The pass is caught. Nice throw, nice catch.
The bad thing about that, Tom, is that it was 1 second too late because the wide receiver was wide open coming down this near side, the south side of the football field.
Okay,
and
penalty.
the rest were covered. The rest of the receivers were covered, so it took him a while to see it.
Okay, so it's out to the 20-yard line. So far it's +6 on the pass. And face mask against the Southwest Eagles. Okay, so they kind of block somebody. And that happens. You know what? I don't know if I could have played under these rules. It seems like, yeah, and Brawley declines it. But Coach, back when we played, you know, a little bit of face in your hands was not illegal. All right?
No, you didn't like it when they grabbed it, so.
No, that's right. So you grab back. You learn how to settle that.
You learn how to smash the wrist when they did that with your other hand. So
there you go. 6:57 to go. Brawley up 28-0, and Southwest suddenly is going to punt. And let's see what happens on this. And here comes the Wildcats, and it's a short kick and a fair catch. And the catch is going to be called for by
Number 6.
Number 6, Daniel Camilo Jr. Chris Camilo. I want to say Chris. I confused Daniel and Chris. Although if you see him in person, one looks like Dad and the other one looks like Mom. It's Daniel Jr., ironically, that looks like Mom Stacy. But so that's how it goes. You name him after you, and then he looks like your wife. So a lesson to be learned out there for you younger listeners. Okay.
49-yard line of Southwest for Brawley Wildcats.
Brawley's going to have a 1st and 10 on the Southwest 49-yard line. And with Brawley taking its time getting the line of scrimmage, we're going to drop in a few more commercials along the way as we are getting kind of near halftime. And my phone's kind of blowing up. No, I guess not. Maybe not. Oh, and that was an incomplete pass.
Bringing up 2nd and 10.
First incomplete pass for the night for quarterback Ethan Gutierrez. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 from the Southwest 49. Brawley probably trying to work on some things, Don, and not a bad place in the game to do it, leading 28-0.
No, that was a pass that they threw last week that was very successful, but he was covered pretty well.
Okay, well, a week's worth of film, a throw out in the flat, and it just looked like it might have been tipped. It didn't get quite to Platt. It looked to me like somebody got a hand on that one. Did it look like that to you?
I was watching Platt coming across because I thought that's what they would do again because it is open. And then a dead chicken came flying through the air.
Yes.
Platt made a good effort of trying to cradle it.
My high school coach, non-politically correct, described that as a ruptured duck. Something that can't fly the way it's supposed to. All right, here we go. 6:34 to go. Brawley up 28-0. This is a 3rd and 10, so Brawley on the verge of maybe their first punt of the night, but we will see. And a long count by Gutierrez. Plenty of time. Throws over the middle to number 42, Tyler Carranza. And Tyler is all the way down? I guess not. Okay, number 13 to number 42. And I mean, you know, and we've told the story numerous times, and we'll go over it again quickly. Ethan Gutierrez and Tanner Carranza are good friends. Okay? I don't know if they're besties, but they're good friends. So Tanner at one point got talked into trying out for football by Ethan. So Tanner asked Coach John Self, can I come out even though I've never played football? And Coach said yes. Then in the spring of this year, right after football, Tanner said, okay, you got to come play baseball. And Ethan asked Coach Pedro Carranza, Tanner's father, can I play baseball? And now he's playing baseball. So that's what Brawley's about. You know, you can try different things. And a long throw by Carranza. He's got a man in the end zone. The question is, did he get 2 feet in? Yes, he did, said the referee. He was a little late to the party, but in a good way this time. And making the catch for the Wildcats, number 5. That's Washington. Mackay Washington, son of Donnell Washington. That's what they were asking me on the KXO radio is doing this on the AM radio. It's their game of the week, and they said, hey, is this Washington kid related to Donnell? Yes, he is, and he is right now after he catches that touchdown pass.
Extra point attempt is good, setting our scoring at 35-0. Once again, 5 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Touchdown, Brawley Wildcats, and we will be back.
This portion of Wildcat football is brought to you by Ojeda Industries, located on the corner of Best Road and Jones, across from the airport in Brawley. Ojeda Industries has heavy-duty hubs, spindles, and trailer parts, as well as American roller chain and sorts of bearings. You know Tony and Travis Ojeda? Stop by and see them at Ojeda Industries, located at the corner of Best Road and Jones, across from the airport in Brawley.
Okay, we are going to have the kickoff. Brawley now leading by a score of 35-0. And we still have 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the first half. Oh, but a nice run back, and he almost escaped. And that's McDonough. That's number 22. Goes up the sideline. So he hasn't mailed it in. That was a nice run.
Yeah, well, he waited, grabbed the ball, and started, as you saw, up the sideline. But what you needed to watch is prior to that, he had a couple blockers out there, and he was able to be able to make some moves that set him up and got him down those extra 5 to 10 yards. That is a good running back, number 22.
All right, he is in the backfield with number 10, Logan Youngers.
Got the ball.
He's got the ball, but the Wildcats now swarming to the ball. Led out there by number
37. Chased him down from behind.
We don't have a 37 on our roster. Okay. Want to make sure that's not 35, but yeah, I don't doubt you.
37. He's out here on the other inside of Platt, number 17.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll check our latest roster. That maybe not the latest and greatest. Back to pass is Youngers, and coming in, and they throw a little screen pass, and wow, was that sniffed out.
However, it's going to be for a 3-yard loss on the play.
They have, Brawley has some new players in there. 37 is replaced, who was it,
77 of Evangelist.
Yeah, and then...
Okay, so it's 3rd and 14 at the southwest 32-yard line. And Youngers is quickly back to pass, rolling out, trying to buy some time. Throws out in the flat, and they're going to say that he made the catch, but he made it, well, I don't think he made it anyway. I saw the ball on the ground, but it was a nice pass, just a little bit too far, trying to get away from the defender. Brawley with some good defense on that. And that'll bring up 4th down and another Southwest Eagle punt, trailing 35-0. And all the passing, Coach Don Biaggi, has suddenly slowed this game down. It was rolling right along, and now it's taken like 20 minutes to play 2 minutes.
They don't have much choice. They got to get something going and get some life back into their teammates.
Okay, now they were short a man, and now they got everybody. And the Wildcats come in, try to block it, careful not to get the kicker. But he gets a kickoff, but it's going to be down at the 50-yard line.
Falls down by the Eagles.
Yeah, they'll start this play for the Wildcats 1 yard back from where they started the previous play where they scored a touchdown. They started on the 49. Now they're starting at midfield.
Okay, so the Brawley Wildcats will take over with even 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go. Brawley will have a 1st and 10 at the 50. Pretty easy. And let's see if we got any new bodies in there. And Gutierrez now is under center, and he's going to give to the first back through. And he is going to power ahead for a couple of yards. We'll see who that is.
2-yard gain on the play by Brawley. Going to bring up 2nd and 8.
That was 42.
That was Carranza. Okay, 42 with the run. And he's going to pick up a couple of yards.
They've changed their defense, Tom. If you look at it up there, they're much closer to the line. They're giving up a little bit more of the pass area if they stay in this close, but as they spread out. But even the linebackers are a little bit, well, they're back into the regular formation. If they run now, they've got a wide open lane.
Okay, Brawley in trips and a wide receiver to the left. And you're right, here comes Ethan Gutierrez with a lot of territory. And he slides forward, and he will have a 1st down. So number 13. So Brawley saw what you did, that they were bunching up against the run, and the Wildcats suddenly went with number 13. And he advances the ball from the 48 to the 38. So that'll be a pickup of 10 and another Brawley 1st down.
He and Carranza have some very good fakes. Oh, on the ground.
It's on the ground, and that's a very smart play. A bad snap in there, and one of the few times the offensive line has made a mistake. I believe that's Brian Portis, number 52, for the Brawley Wildcats. And that's just kind of unusual, Don. That ball must have just slipped out of his hands.
Yeah, I saw him wiping his hands and etc. He's got gloves, some kind of gloves, and I never liked them, but that's me. And it just seemed to just slide right off, never got up into the air at all.
So a loss of 14 yards. And now Brawley has a 2nd and 23. 2nd and 23. And they are back now in their own territory at the Brawley 49. And here goes Gutierrez. Throws one out here into the flat to Washington. Washington's going to go out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So 13-5. And that's going to be a pickup of about 8 yards.
They sent Carranza up the middle where he caught that pass and went for a touchdown, because that's wide open on the defense when they spread out like that. The way they put the defense. If you look at it, people are watching, look how much room that's there in the open area to be able to draw in and get into an open area for your quarterback in about 2 seconds to throw it to you.
Okay, here goes Gutierrez. He throws over the middle, and it's maybe a pick 6. Gutierrez is getting over there. He is not going to allow that to happen. What a nice open field tackle by number 13.
Number 20.
Eagles number 20,
Nathan Rodriguez intercepted that ball. That one just was overthrown, and
in Brawley territory.
That was a nice return. Maybe this is a little life that they need.
32-yard line, 1st and 10, Southwest.
Okay, at the Brawley 32 now, with the first Brawley turnover of the game. And let's see what happens, Don Biaggi. Next Friday night, we are hosting in Brawley, Warren Field. Be there, 7 o'clock, Imperial Tigers. Imperial won last night, beating Hauteville in their annual Axe. Some know it's a Imperial Valley Classic. And a nice throw by Youngers.
Completes number 3, Smith.
Hits number 3. And
go for an Eagle first down.
And it's going to be another 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
The 21-yard line.
At the Southwest 21, so a pickup of 11 for Southwest. And as you said, with 29 seconds to go, they don't have a choice but to just kind of a
overthrown ball. Both went up for it, and no interference or anything. That was a great play by the defense of Brawley to keep that ball from being a reception.
They're trying to target number 88, and that would make sense because he has, he's got some height and everything on the Wildcats. So let's see what they do. 24.6 seconds to go. Brawley up 35-0. Interest now is, can Southwest get a touchdown and come out and get the opening second half kickoff? Youngers rolls out. Nice move. Throws on the run. Overthrows the receiver. Overthrows his receiver, aiming for number 13, and that would be William Linham, a sophomore. A lot of young kids on this team, Coach Don Biaggi.
Yeah, I noticed that. Sophomores and juniors, and they're getting a very tough baptismal in league tonight. We got a timeout called.
Timeout taken on the field by the Eagles.
Okay, Southwest knows they are down to 2 plays, and they need to score in 18.5 seconds. We will be back.
This portion of Brawley High Wildcat football is brought to you by the Man Company, where you will find a complete line of quality Shell lubricants, motor oils, grease, and gear oils. You'll find the quality and the service you need at the Man Company in Brawley, located at 1313 Main Street. Go Wildcats from the Man Company.
One and keep going. But if you try to go, like Man Company, it just jumps. Okay, back here at Freeway Stadium, 18.5 seconds to go.
Watch the right side of Brawley Wildcat line.
You think they're coming? And here we go, back to pass as Logan Youngers throws to number 88 in the end zone, and all kinds of shenanigans. The ball was actually not to, no, that was number 3, not to him, and so therefore the contact was incidental as Southwest was going for the football, Coach.
Yeah, the ball was a little high, and he couldn't quite get up to it. It's a well-executed play, but Brawley had 2 defenders there when that ball was high over his head and was floating up there. They both went up for it, and they kind of had a little dance and went to the ground. The ball was just a little too high.
Okay, timeout on the field, 35-0 Wildcats. We'll be back.
This portion of Wildcat Football is brought to you by Clicka Parker Insurance Brokers, located at 350 G Street in Brawley. Stop by and talk with Jeff or Holly, or give them a call at 760-344-0600. That's Clicka Parker Insurance Brokers. Go Wildcats from Clicka Parker Insurance.
Okay, not taking much time. Our halftime guest, the leader of the Screaming Eagles, Ruben Valenzuela, the AD, is up here. And we'll, they're not quite sure where they're lining up, so this is not good coming out of a timeout. 10.1 seconds, left. 4th and 10.
Watch go right.
Yeah, 3 receivers all in a bunch. I wouldn't call it trips. And they throw out, and let's see. And they're going to give them a touchdown. Only 1 receiver on the right, and Aiden Torres is not able to corral him. So it is a touchdown pass, so a timeout well spent as Logan Youngers hits number 3, and that is Nate Smith. He is a senior. He's one of the old guys on this crew. I'll tell you what, a bunch of pups, but it was the old dog that made the catch. Nice play for 21 yards and a touchdown, and it is now Brawley 35 and Southwest 6. Nice play.
That was a designed deceptive play.
Yeah.
Left and throw back right.
Yep. And now there's movement on the line, and Brawley can move, but Southwest can't. So we will see if they're saying it was, yeah, it's illegal motion. So a motion penalty. And Southwest on the scoreboard with 5.9 seconds to go, which means Southwest will kick off. We go straight to halftime, and the Eagles will be receiving to open the second half.
Blocked.
Okay, and the kick is blocked. And Brawley blocks the PAT.
Once again, just under 6 seconds here in the first half.
So it is Southwest 6, Brawley 35. I'm sure they will do some kind of a squib kick, pooch kick, not give Brawley a chance to return. And
it might be like the opening kickoffs. So they're all down and around as close as they can to the ball being received and then being tackled.
Nice crowd here on the Southwest side. Decent crowd on the Brawley side. Brawley travels pretty well. Hey, we do. We do.
Yeah, if we had that.
Now, if you would put up 2, we sat up there for the CIF Milpitas championship game because I had a Milpitas press credential. So they sent me over there.
All right.
They would not let me come to this side of the stadium. Nah. Hey, I was covering Milpitas. I was getting all this I was with my people. For that night, they were my people. Not really. Here we go. And it's a long kick. And here's Camilo. Camilo threads his way through and will go down in a clump. And that is the end of the first half. So at halftime, the score is Brawley 35, the Southwest Eagles 6. We're going to do a couple of commercials and come back with our halftime guest, Ruben Valenzuela. Don't miss it.
Wildcat football is brought to you by Johnny's Burritos, locations in Brawley, Imperial, and El Centro. Johnny's with a full menu of your favorite Mexican and American food and the best burritos in town. That's Johnny.
Fourth or fifth year?
Fifth year.
Fifth year. I knew you'd been around for a while.
Yeah.
And again, kind of came in the football program. You hit it in stride, didn't you?
They adopted me, Tom.
Okay. Well,
those kids. I coached those kids in football prior to becoming athletic director. So
as freshmen, right?
Yeah. Well, I was on the varsity when that 17 team, those seniors were freshmen. I was an assistant on the varsity for a couple of years, and then I went to the JV. And then when they were seniors is when I became athletic director.
Okay, and a good year it was, and a busy year. You learned more than any athletic director knows in this county because no one else has been to a state title, let alone host it.
What a way to break in my rookie year as AD. Yeah, exactly. It was stressful. It was extremely busy. It flew before our eyes, and it wasn't just the fall. Our boys basketball team goes to the CIF finals in basketball. Our girls softball team brings home a CIF title that year as well. I mean, it was just a long, incredible, awesome first year.
Yes, and we many a time our halftime guest, especially on the road, is Billy Brewer.
Okay.
Because he's got to be at the game, and I know it, and he can't hide from me. Okay.
Gotcha.
And we talk about a lot of sports. We talk about what's going on at Brawley High. And Billy, will always say to me, because he's succeeded me, basically, as AD at Brawley High. You know, Coach, you know. But I don't know all that's going on and all the changes that have happened. But the job has become a lot more complicated than I had it back in the 1990s, because CIF was simpler. You turned in the top 3 teams from the old Desert Valleys League, which you played in.
Yep.
No, you were in the Desert League.
I was in the Desert Mountain League.
You were in the Desert Mountain League in Imperial. Same thing.
Yeah.
Finish first, second, or third, you go to the playoffs. If you don't, you go home.
Right.
And you don't know who you play, and it has nothing to do with power rankings. They pick another league they think is even, never was, and you go on the road most of the time unless you're home. Right. Now it is convoluted.
Can you give me a minute?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
we will step back for a second.
Just a second. Yeah.
And go ahead. You're dead. And talking with Ruben Valenzuela, the score is 35-0 in favor of the Brawley High Wildcats. Lots going on here at Southwest High School tonight. As you can see on the field, the band is going to be taking over. We probably got a good shot of the dancers. You just saw the dancers. So it's a big night here at the Southwest Eagles. And about 15 more minutes of halftime, so plenty of time to talk to Ruben, who is also working. And he had to step back to go to work. And like I said, been there and done that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm back. And Ruben is back. It is convoluted now. And for example, it was supposed to happen during the pandemic, and it finally happened that Palo Verde is no longer in the Imperial Valley League.
Correct.
And I think if that would have happened in 2019, it would have the new Southeast Conference, which includes all the teams in Imperial County, correct?
Right.
but does not include West Shores.
Correct. They're not.
Which is also in Imperial County.
In Imperial County, but part of Coachella Valley School District,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Okay. And they play in the San Diego section, but they're
Yes.
still not part of us.
Correct.
That we'll save for another day. That's not your call.
Yeah.
That's not your call. You have nothing to do with it.
And then even though we provide their officials as well.
I know. I go up there. I
Yeah.
go up there as a volleyball referee.
There you go.
I go up there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So who knows? All right. But basically, all the teams in the county now are in one big league that is subdivided into 2 leagues. Correct.
Right. Well,
is that a way to say that?
We have the
How
conference.
do you explain it?
We have the entire conference, right? But for football, we have the 2 leagues: the Imperial Valley League, which is Brawley, Imperial, Southwest, Central, and Calexico at this point. The other teams in the Desert League consist of Holtville, Calapat, Palo Verde, Vincent Memorial, and Mount Empire this year.
Okay, and that's in football.
That's in football.
Okay, we'll just stay there for a moment.
Okay, but this is Mount Empire's last year. Mount Empire beginning 21-22.
They are not in Imperial County.
No, they are joining the Coastal Conference. Explain that, being out in the mountains.
Well, I don't know why the Coastal Conference is going to drive further than they have to drive to play us.
Well, they accepted them, Tom, so they're officially going to be a Coastal Conference team beginning fall of 22.
But that makes some sense in that Mountain Empire is not a part of Imperial County.
Which is right. They're part of San Diego County, yes.
Yeah, okay. And I'm sure they identify more with that.
Yes.
And I think the excuse was they have more parents that work in San Diego.
That was one of the reasons that they gave us. They said it'd be hard for parents to actually follow their kids coming down here for league matches. You know, league
for the last
contests.
20 years?
Well, I mean, when I was in high school, they did it.
Yeah.
They were in our league when I was in high school.
I was talking today with Ed Bilderback, known as Diego in Calexico, known as Butch in Imperial.
Okay.
Coached the Imperial Tigers, coached a lot of places here in the Valley. Won a CIF title in Needles in the early 1970s.
Oh, wow.
When Needles was part of the Chaparral League, which was Needles, a town called Eagle Mountain, which was a mining town outside of Indio,
right?
That they just shut down one day, locked the gates, sent everybody home.
See ya.
No more high school. And Imperial, Holtville, and Calipatria. So you used to have to ride a bus 5 hours to Needles.
Yes. Yes.
And nobody thought a thing about it. And it was an on-air-conditioned school bus. Let me just tell you that.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was.
And so, you know, but now suddenly we are at least. Do you feel, having been around this, you coached at Central, correct?
No. I've only coached high school level here at Southwest.
Okay. But just over your coaching career now as an athletic administrator,
right?
You feel like we're getting a little more control of ourselves, perhaps, with this?
With this new structure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think so because, I mean, when we now are also doing similar to what the Grossmont Conference does, what the Metro Conference does in South San Diego, and, you know, restructuring the leagues as needed to keep a competitive balance. So with Mount Empire, like I said, they were only in for football. So this winter, we're going to have a 5-team Imperial Valley League and a 4-team Desert League for basketball. And in fact, our girls basketball team and girls soccer team will be playing in the Desert League this winter. So the competitive balance, Tom, that aspect, I like it. I think it gives teams a better opportunity to compete and to be successful, and even gives them better opportunities to make the playoffs.
And that's why we left, to just take this back to 1999
or 98?
No.
I was coaching girls basketball at the time when we went.
No, 1994, when Palm Springs, Cathedral City, and somebody else joined the DVL, and we suddenly had like 9 teams.
Would that have been Rancho Mirage?
No, they weren't quite open yet.
Okay.
Desert Hot Springs.
Oh, there you go.
And so we had a league where you had 9 teams and only 3 could go to the playoffs. So then we came up with this brilliant idea that we'll form an Imperial Valley League, and then 5 teams can play for 3 playoff spots, and their 5 teams could play for 3 playoff spots. And, you know, we had 6 teams in the playoffs.
Okay.
So it's all about trying to give your school, your team, your fans, your community, you know, reasons to be proud,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And to compete. to not feel like they go into a year when there's nothing to play for. And there's nothing worse than that. I can't imagine a worse feeling. Okay?
All right.
Although I come from the San Francisco Athletic Association, AAA, and we had 10 teams, and 4 made the playoffs and 6 didn't, and that was just a given. So you started the year and you knew you better be better than 6 other teams.
Yeah.
And that pretty much was straight. And in football, we played league games from the first one. 1 through 10. We had 1 practice game, and then 9 league games.
Wow.
And then a 2-game playoff, and by Thanksgiving, we were playing basketball, which was okay with me. I was ready to move on. Actually, it's so cold, I was ready to get in the gym. I'd do anything to get in the gym.
Indoors.
If we'd have played football indoors, maybe I would go a little longer. But that's the way. Ruben Valenzuela with Tom Runco at halftime. Brawley 35, a Southwest Eagle team that scored at the buzzer 6. And it'll be interesting because they're going to get the second half kickoff, so don't go anywhere because it's going to, Southwest is not rolling over. This is not, at least in their mind, from what I can see, over. Talking with Ruben about some changes in the league.
Right.
So it's possible that Palo Verde, and again, anybody out there, all I hear is Ted Lasso, Ted Lasso, Ted Lasso.
Mm-hmm.
That TV series about an American that goes coaches Premier English soccer.
Yes.
The whole thing there is that they are trying to get relegated. They are trying to drop down. They want him to lose, and he won't lose, even though he doesn't know what he's doing. Okay. So there are points in time when you don't want to be relegated, but you want to be competitive.
Right.
And
exactly.
that's basically all we're talking about, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what we're talking about, giving teams the opportunity to be competitive, to win league titles, to get into the playoffs. And it's based on the rankings that CIF puts out and the divisions where we stand. So out of the 9 teams that we're going to have from here on out, the top 4 will be in the Imperial Valley League. The bottom 4 will make up the Desert League. The one in the middle, depending on where they're more closely ranked. If they're more closely ranked to the top 4, they'll go into the IVL. If they're more closely ranked to the lower level, then they'll go into the Desert League. And that's what we're going to be doing across the board in all of these team sports from here on out.
But I think in football, just because of scheduling, and I'm thinking of you now.
Yeah.
I put on my AD hat.
Okay.
And I think, what a nightmare if you don't know whether you've got 3 league games or you've got 4 league games, or would we go to a double round robin?
Well, that's what's been talking about, is doing a double round robin for the 4-team league in football. So to make it easier to schedule games, because you know how difficult that is.
Oh, God,
I don't.
No. I don't
so the thing is that's one of the things that'll come up at our next AD's meeting that we will finalize, is that the 4-team league in football will decide if we're going to go a double round robin. And looks like that could possibly happen, because I think most of the ADs felt pretty good about that.
That would mean, of course, we're back to the days of the original Imperial Valley League.
Yeah.
When it was Imperial, Calexico, Central, Imperial, and Brawley. And they played a double round robin.
Double round robin. Yeah.
They played each other 3 times. Calexico, I'm sorry. It was Calexico, Central, Imperial, and Brawley. Yeah, had to be.
Was it?
That's all.
I thought Imperial, because I remember Imperial doing it too when they were with Mount Empire, Calapat, and Hopeville.
Yes.
That was before Vincent Memorial came in with football. Yeah.
Yes. So again, you'll make it work, but it's going to be interesting. But in most sports, it's not an issue. Now the other thing for people are going to have a hard time telling the difference, and the only way I, who consider myself kind of tuned into what's going on around here, found out about it was when I looked at the Brawley and Central volleyball schedules, and they're not playing because they're not in the same league. Brawley's in the IVL.
Right.
Central this year is in the Desert League.
Correct.
And for the first time since volleyball started, because I officiated the first year of volleyball in 1975. The 2 schools are not playing. But that's a one-off anomaly. Most times you're going to, when you make your schedule, you still want to play, no matter who's in your league, you want to play everybody else in the Valley you've always played, right?
Right, and that we did that. We scheduled Central in a non-league match for volleyball. For soccer, we're going to play Brawley. even though they're in the Desert League, boys. Imperial's in the Desert League for boys. We're playing Imperial too. It makes it, in a sense, kind of easy because we're scheduling locally. It saves us, speaking from the AD standpoint, it saves us on transportation costs, things like that, you know?
Yeah.
And
gives your fans a chance to see their kids.
Yes, they don't have to drive so far to see their kids play.
Exactly. And not everybody in this day and age can afford to travel nor wants to make it. So
and you and I both know what that budget looks like when it comes to transportation costs, you know, and trying to make trips over the hill, you know. And don't get me wrong, not that we don't like to do that, we still do, but you know, we don't have to do it as often now that we actually can play some of the local teams.
When Steve Evangelist, who anybody that's been around the valley for any amount of time,
right?
Steve wore many hats at many schools. When he was athletic director at Imperial, he drove the bus to Needles.
Wow.
For the teams.
I didn't know that.
And you know why? He claimed he made more money getting paid as a bus driver than he did as getting paid as AD.
Wow.
And we won't go there. That's not a knock on any school district or anything. But back in the day, you were simply kind of a coach and you had an extra period to do all this AD stuff.
Yep.
And now we have full-time, basically, ADs at most schools because it isn't that simple.
Right.
It just is not that simple.
No.
So we're talking the evolution of sports. Ruben Valenzuela, athletic director at Southwest High School. Longtime friend.
Absolutely.
And married, by the way, to a Wildcat. So everybody out there watching this webcast, I want to give a shout out to the best decision Ruben made in his life, marrying a Wildcat. Even though her father was a Bulldog, and we fought about that. But he coached at Brawley. We won him over.
Yep.
We could not get Ruben to Brawley. I think we tried a couple times. You applied a couple times.
I tried.
And I fought for you, pal. You know that.
I know that.
And but it's just not meant to be, and very happy where he is.
Yes, and that's for sure. I mean, the one thing about Southwest, Tom, is that this has become family. This is family here, and it's a great place to be. I love these kids. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure that if I would have had the opportunity elsewhere, I would have felt the same way. But the thing is now this is home.
You adopt them.
I do. I
mean,
I love these kids, and it's just an awesome place to be every day. We've got a great staff. We've got a lot of support. Look at the stands.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that we've got a lot of support here from our community, and it's awesome. And I love being here, and it'll be a sad day when I
hope they're getting a shot of the cheerleaders, because I think we have more cheerleaders to run through than we do
the football players.
Football players. It's pretty dang close.
Yeah.
But Ruben, thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you, my friend. It's so good to see you and always to talk to you.
Yes, and thank you for your hospitality here.
Absolutely, you're always welcome. You know that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you need to make sure you bring Don with you more often. Okay?
Oh well, thank you. He wants me to bring you more often. I don't know about that one, but I no promises, but I'll try. I'll try, Ruben.
Thanks a lot.
As long as he's good. That's the only key. Yeah. If I could get a volleyball match. 1:44 to go in halftime. The score: Brawley 35. The Southwest Eagles 6. Brawley will kick off to Southwest. It's been a good game so far for the Wildcats. Some offense for Southwest. They're not quitting. And we will see what happens. Hope you enjoyed halftime with Ruben Valenzuela. We'd like to remind you, Wildcat football on the Desert Review, and brought to you by Wildcat Broadcasting, both of us in a joint venture, is brought to you by One World Beef Packers, Doc Barnitsky and Vision Care Center, Ojeda Industries, The Man Company, Clicka Parker Insurance, Johnny's Burritos in El Centro, Brawley and Imperial, Heart Insurance Centers, Fry Chapel and Mortuary. Also by Desert RV, Brandt Beef, and A&R Construction. We're going to step back for a second and play our disclaimer. And I hope this is the disclaimer.
Broadcast rights to this BOHS contest have been granted to the Desert Review by Brawley Union High School District and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the production without the express written consent of the Brawley Union High School District is prohibited.
Okay, we are back, and before we get the second half kickoff, let us catch up with Desert RV, one of our fine sponsors. Joel Gonzalez, a great student, great friend.
Exciting Brawley High Wildcat football is brought to you by the Desert RV, locally owned and operated by Joel Gonzalez. Joel and his crew offer RV storage and service and now offer auto, body, and paint, as well as a full line of truck accessories. Stop by Desert RV at 1552 Main Street in Brawley or call them at 760-344-9200. Desert RV, a proud sponsor of Brawley Wildcat football.
We get down to the last 3 minutes of warm-ups here for the beginning of the second half. I want to give you some updates. The Central Spartans with a 28...
A&R Construction, serving the Imperial Valley since 1988. 1631 River Drive in Brawley, 760-344-4653. They are the proud sponsors of the Brawley Wildcat broadcast from the Desert Review. This portion of Brawley High Wildcat football is brought to you by the Man Company, where you will find a complete line of quality Shell lubricants, motor oils, grease, and gear oils. You'll find the quality and the service you need at the Man Company in Brawley, located at 1313 Main Street. Go Wildcats from the Man Company. Wildcat football is brought to you by Johnny's Burritos, with locations in Brawley, Imperial, and El Centro. Johnny's, with a full menu of your favorite Mexican and American food and the best burritos in town. That's Johnny's Burritos. Go Wildcats! From Johnny's Burritos in Brawley.
Okay, welcome back to exciting Brawley High Wildcat football. They are warming up out on the field. I hope you got some interesting information to support our sponsors. Next Friday night, we will be at Warren Field in Brawley. It'll be the Brawley Wildcats and the Imperial Tigers, and that's always a good football game. It always has playoff implications because both the Wildcats and the Tigers are in Division III of the San Diego CIF. So the winner has to almost automatically be power ranked higher in terms of CIF seeding. Doesn't always work out that way because that would be too logical, and we're talking about CIF. But basically, Don Biaggi, if you beat somebody, you ought to be a little bit higher than they are.
Oh, no doubt about it. And you just got to keep making your plays and putting the W's up and making people understand that you're the ones that belong on the top ranking.
Okay, we are at halftime. It is 35-6 in favor of the Brawley High Wildcats. A long halftime that I think you got a pretty good view of with our camera person. That's not Long Tall Lloyd, but she's getting her done. That's why that little viewer points down, right? We're ready to go, and give a shout out to Kayla over there. Lloyd every once in a while sits down and chats with us, by the way. So I said Lloyd sits down with us every once in a while and chats at halftime. So Kayla's going to have to up her game a little bit, all right? Yes. All right. And Betty's not here, so we have a new engineer. Here we go with the second half kickoff, and it looked like a nice run. Nice open field tackle out there by, I believe, number 31 for the Brawley High Wildcats. And that is Chris Camilo. And I told you we've been saying that sophomore's name all night. Brody Enders, by the way, is number 37. Brody is in and out of the game, in and out of uniforms. I got to settle Brody down. 35-6 Brawley Wildcats, and they're going to open the second half with a 1st and 10 from their own, Southwest, from their own 30-yard line. And they're going to give it off. That number 22 again?
Yep. Platt was on the tackle along with number 24.
Okay, so at the 30-yard line. And number 22 is McDonough is carrying the ball. He'll pick up 5 yards. So again, no quit in this Southwest Eagle football team as they come up with a 2nd and 5 now from their 35.
All right, you listeners,
Watchers.
the 10 and 22, because they start the whole play, whether it's a run, pass.
Okay, now they move 88 into an H-back, and that's a running formation, but they roll out youngers. They try to throw in the flat, and that just didn't work at all. I don't know how else to describe that. Do you, Coach?
No, it's an errant pass. I think he was doing more of a throwaway because his body position, everything, had no ability to square up and make a pass. He had a receiver open over there with Brawley closing. But
I don't know why they don't send the play in. Everybody looks at the sidelines now because somebody does that in college. I don't get it. Anyway, it's 3rd and 5 from the 35 for Southwest. Tom Ronco with Don Biaggi. Want to thank our halftime guest, Ruben Valenzuela. And Logan is going to scramble around. And the Wildcats appear to have, and he is going to pick up 1. And that is going to be, again, running for his life. Lucky he got back to the line of scrimmage and got 1. Going to have a 4th down, and we are going to apparently punt the football away. And Brawley will get the football, leading 35-6 with 10:24 to go. We'll see what the time is when they get it, actually. Southwest with a lot of razzle-dazzle, and they do get it. It's something they're going to call the Wildcats for being offside or motion. I think the guy turned upfield, yes. So now we get a penalty.
Going to be a penalty marked off against Southwest.
And you know, Don, we were kidding about when we played back in the dark ages last century. And I don't know. We didn't have gadgets. We just kind of.
Yeah, number 50 flinched for Southwest.
Well, but it took so long. I don't blame him. I didn't like being in that three-point stance forever. And why? To move the guy in from the outside. Why? Oh, partially blocked. Fair catch called for by number 6. And that is Albert Camilo Jr., or Daniel Camilo, excuse me. Albert is his grandfather. I'm going back some there. All right, 9:50 to go. Let's see what the Wildcats can do. What are you looking for?
All right, now in the last 3 punts that the Wildcats have received, they got it on the 49, the first one of Southwest, and the second one on the 50. And now the third one, we're at our own 45. So they backed us up a little bit, but we're still in the same area within 5 yards of the first punt.
And AKA great field position. Back to pass is Ethan Gutierrez. Big rush, throws out in the flat to Carranza. Carranza with a lot of room.
Block.
Nice block out there. I want to see, and now... Oh, that is, somebody needs to get tossed out of the game for that one. That was just a cheap shot on Carranza. And, that I understand frustration, but, I don't know. If they let that guy stay in the game, something's wrong. Did you see who got the pop out there?
No, I didn't. I was focused on.
We all got distracted.
On who made the tackle on him, and on next thing I know.
Could have been Portis. We don't know. But on first down, it is 13-42, and that's going to be good down to the Southwest 29. So you're going to have about 24 yards.
And then the penalty tacked on. You know what? They have it on. I got to tune in because you're on a delay, correct?
Ball's going to be spotted.
We could be watching this.
About the 15-yard line. The first and 10, Brawley.
Going to update some scores for you from around the league here in a moment. It is 1st and 10 at the Southwest now, plus a penalty. And that is now down to the 15-yard line, Don? Looks like it.
Number 50 for Southwest, Emilio Hernandez, played that off the block and Carranza ran right into him. Nice tackle, nice play by the defense.
Okay, no gain. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Little pass out in the flat to Robert Platt. And Platt is going to get forward. And we'll see where Platt gets to. He's going to pick up 9 and be close to a first down for Brawley. Brawley up 35-6. Other scores. It is last night, final again, Imperial 14, Hauteville 8. Central is up 28-0 over Calexico. Palo Verde is up 35-0 over Calipatria. Tomorrow night at this field, it will be Mountain Empire and Vincent Memorial in a desert, I don't know what they call it, Desert League game. So on 3rd and 1, the Wildcats give it to Carranza, coach, and no gain. And here's Carranza this time, and he is going to pick up plus.
The difference on this play and the previous play is number 88 was on the right side of Southwest, and he came right down, and Platt ran right into him for the tackle and no gain. This time he was on the outside, and the hole was so big the truck went through, and that was Platt.
All right, nice block out there by Robert Platt, as it is a gain of 14 for Carranza. Sets up a 1st and goal from the 1, and wide open, and Platt is 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. It's going to be 13-17 for 1 yard and a Brawley touchdown. So Platt's rewarded, Don, for his hard work in the trenches. Yeah. I like that. How about you?
Good.
As a former tight end, how do you like that one?
It was 42, Carranza that was tackled. And then the second time he came through, Carranza had it wide open because they shifted number 88 further out, and it left it wide open, and nobody really was there to stop the blocking.
Oh, that was a 2-point conversion. Carranza scored. Okay, I'm all goofed up. All right. Okay, sorry about that. Carranza, 42, scores the touchdown. It is a pass from 13-17 for the 2-point conversion, and Brawley just probably trying to work on that at this point in time. And that was a 15-yard run. And we are going to get set. The guy that still has all the enthusiasm on the PA system, for those of you who might know him, is John Henshaw, who used to work with me at the IV Press and is a longtime teacher here at Southwest High.
Hey, you got to remember that sophomore year on that undefeated team, second in the East Bay that I played on in Albany. The rest of the time I played fullback.
Okay, so you know the feeling.
Yes,
all right,
I do.
So you've been Carranza and Platt. You just haven't been Gutierrez. That's okay.
No, I left that to a number of my Pete Olson that went on to Cal. He was the quarterback, and then Johnny, he was our sophomore quarterback at 6'2½". There was a bad snap and a bobble by both the quarterback and the halfback. Looked like a loss of 1.
Okie dokes. So with 7:37 to go, Southwest takes over again on a 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. They get a -1. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 11 from the 27.
Southwest has got to stay on their blocks more. They're making contact, but not carrying it through. And
that time they're getting
this
Logan.
Is very good, very good. They finally, all right. That's the way Southwest should be playing, right there.
Okay, nice tackle out there by number 5 for the Brawley High Wildcats. That's Washington. And that pass was to number 13 or number 3? 13, I believe. So 10-13, that'll pick up 5 yards. Brawley covered it pretty good. But for once, Logan Youngers had a little bit of time to look around, huh?
Yeah, no, the line set on up, and there wasn't a heavy pressure by Brawley, but they made a good showing for themselves. They got to keep that up. This is good.
Okay, back to pass. Youngers is going to scramble now, and he's going to slide. but he's going to slide, and, well, they're going to give him a first down. So Youngers +6, and actually +7.
Okay.
So
All right.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. They are now at their own 37-yard line.
Okay, viewers, they had this. Their lineup is the same as they went for the touchdown, so let's see what happens.
Okay, this time it's an inside give, and immediately tackled out there. And that tackle is by number 25. That is Matthew Moreno, son of Quito Moreno, brother of Michael Moreno of a couple of years ago, the fine Wildcat running back. And he's getting in there on defense and makes a nice tackle. One of about 3 or 4 freshmen. The other one out there, I am sure at the moment, is Matthew Gutierrez. He is number 35. So the Wildcats getting some of the younger blood out there now. Also see number 31 out there. Camilo is still in the game in his inside linebacker position. Kind of a trips. They're so bunched together, Don, I don't want to call it trips. And doubles on the left, trips on the right. Youngers gets some pretty good time and now throws. He has a man open out in the flat. I couldn't see the defender. He was there, but he was shielded. And number 3 makes the catch. And, okay, 10-3. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 at the 40. And again, I don't understand this, but that's okay. Wildcat lost his mouthpiece, picked it up. And here we go. And it's a jailbreak, and they just float the ball up, and it's almost caught. Oh, my goodness. Moreno out there on the coverage. Not bad for a freshman, Don, on what has to be a pretty good size number 88. He is a junior, Derek Mankin. And not only a freshman against a junior, but giving up a few pounds, too.
Yeah, he went up for it, got off his hands, and was almost intercepted and went off the Brawley's hands and then to the ground. There was another person standing there, and I thought maybe it might be in their hands.
Yeah,
so,
your cardinal rule as a defensive back, knock the ball down. It can't hurt you on the ground. It only hurts you when it's in the air. Here comes Brawley, and a nice punt. This time kind of awkward, but it takes a Brawley bounce. Quickly scooped up out there by number 88. That is Mankin, and I like that kid. Number 88, Derek Mankin, D-E-R-I-K. And Brawley will have its worst field position in a while, Don.
Yeah, now we're back to our 31 on the 4th punt that has taken place by Southwest, being forced to do that by the Wildcats. So we either gotta go forward and score another touchdown, or quit allowing them to punt and putting us back.
One or the other. Brawley 43, Southwest Eagles 6. Again, other scores. Palo Verde putting it on Calipatria 35-0. That is a mismatch. Central at Calexico 28-0. That is a mismatch. And the best game of the Valleys from score-wise was last night's Imperial Hopeville, but I did not see the game, so that's only going off the score. And here comes Tanner Carranza. If you're joining us late and just kind of tuning in, I guess we should have been saying all game long, because it is news. Isaiah Young is not in the ball game, either at free safety or at the fullback. He has been replaced, and I would say ably, by Tanner Carranza for tonight. But we want to get Isaiah back. Probably without a bye until the next to last game. They will play Calexico on a Thursday night, then have a week, almost 2 weeks, 15 days before they play the Bell game. But that we couldn't wait. The doctor said Isaiah needs to rest that leg, so Isaiah is resting that leg. Pass out in the flat just didn't.
Miscommunication.
Yeah, it just didn't look good. It didn't look good. But it was 2nd and 1, long 1, short 2 if you want. And so it's a nice down to kind of try something, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Thing is that with having two backs that are doing as well as they are, with Young and Carranza not skipping a beat, this is going to be a hard 1-2 punch because somebody's always going to be fresh.
Yeah, well, we'll see how the Wildcats play it when they get both of them on the field. Last week they did do that, but that was because of necessity. Now we'll see if they do it just out of strategy. A fake to Young, a pass in the flat to number 17, Robert Platt. Robert will go down. Rosie de Guzman, that is Robert's mother. I couldn't find the text. He texted me with Mom and Dad. So anyway, the Platt name.
46-yard line, 1st and 10.
Okay, that was 13 to 17 and a pickup of...
not for a first down.
Yeah, I didn't get what the previous thing was. But a nice pickup for the Wildcats, and they are now out to the 46-yard line. And a give up the middle to Carranza, I believe. Okay, 42 for 8, probably 31.
Got a new lineman in there for Brawley, number 55.
Okay, good. Let's start picking out. That's Julius Diaz. He is a senior right tackle and getting in the game. And here we go. Back to pass is Gutierrez. He hits Platt. They're going to give him forward progress to the first down.
13 Lillian on the tackle. Pass is complete. Go for another Wildcat first down.
Okay.
Okay, viewers, watch the Brawley line right now. They're very active. They're blocking people out. They're keeping them away from the quarterback, and he's able to have the time, and his receivers are getting open quickly for him. So watch that line play in there, and you're going to see some good things happening because they can fake this pass shortly and another run.
Okay, 1st and 10 Wildcats at the 44, it looks like?
Yeah.
Southwest 44. And it's going to be a pass out to Daniel Camilo Jr. And Camilo is going to go down the sideline. Nice catch, nice run. Already has a touchdown. He goes out of bounds.
There's a flag down here.
And let's see what this is all about, because it may negate a thing or two.
Keep in mind what I was saying, ladies and gentlemen. There's very active line play with these young men from Brawley right now, and they're helping each other downfield with blocks, etc., for the runners and the receivers. So yeah, there's a lot of good action, and you should enjoy it. There was unnecessary roughness, I guess, against Southwest because they just marched off. 10 yards penalty.
Okay, and we'll see what the Wildcats do. Leading 43-6. Ethan Gutierrez remains a quarterback. Your running back is Tanner Carranza, and Gutierrez falls on the football.
Bad snap.
Bad snap again. And again, that ball must be sticky down there or something, Don, because that's just not like our man, Brian Portis, unless he is not in there. We can take a double look at that and see who actually...
No, 52 is the center. But he's under the center now for the second time in a row, and he's usually taken a
snap.
Snap. And there's a rhythm to the snap, 7 yards deep, and there's a rhythm to the center, under center snap, because that's just 7 inches up into the hands of the quarterback. And if that rhythm is not there.
That is the end of the third quarter as Carranza runs for, I believe, 2 yards. And we are at the end of the third quarter. A look at the scoreboard. Brawley High Wildcats 43, Southwest Eagles 6. And let's again give you our rundown on our fine sponsors. A&R Construction Company, Brant Beef, Desert RV, Fry Chapel and Mortuary, Hart Insurance Centers, Johnny's in El Centro, Brawley, and Imperial, Clickup Parker Insurance Company, The Man Company on Main Street, Ojeda Industries, One World Beef, and Vision Care. And I'm going to kind of go back out here for a second, and we were going to cue you up a commercial.
Nationwide is on your side. So you're up at dawn, kid, look alive. You've been saving for a big man cave. Good luck with that, Dave. So many things you're doing with your life. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
For all your many sides, there's Nationwide. Call Hart Insurance Center, 898 Main Street, Brawley, or in the Prince Plaza, 1503 North Imperial Avenue, El Centro. Since 1945, we have a heart for personal service.
Okay, back to live action, and here goes, no, it's a fake, and it's Ethan Gutierrez, and he is in for the touchdown. So on the first play of the fourth quarter, and it was from the 7-yard line, so we're going to call it a 7-yard touchdown run. Here in the fourth quarter. And point is up, and it is good. So a look at the Wildcat with the scoreboard. Wildcats have reached an even 50. It is Brawley 50, the Southwest Eagles 6, and we will be back. Well, I thought we'd be back, but I'm having trouble. Let me go up one more level here, if I can, or go back one more level, or whatever. Anyway, next Friday night, we will be at Warren Field in Brawley to take on the Imperial Tigers, and going to be an interesting game. And the Tigers will come in without an IVL record. There's 5 teams in the IVL this league, this year for 2021, and that means that Central is playing Calexico. They are leading 35-0. Brawley is playing Southwest. Imperial had the bye, played last night. And here we go. It's a short kick. It's taken, and the pursuit runs right by number 21 for the Brawley High Wildcats. That's Charlie Lai, and his enthusiasm ran by. Is there another late flag in there or something? No, they're throwing the football around. You can never tell with these guys.
And now this is where Southwest really has to look at each other and say, come on, it's time for us to get a drive, and let's make it happen. It's still got 4 games, I believe, left, or 3 games left in the league, and
here we go. It's a short kick. It's taken, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Southwest Eagles. They are going to give it out there to that's the new runner, Don. What's his number?
That was spot back at the 26.
22 is in there.
Oh, is that him again?
And 12.
Yeah, he's still in there. 13 still a receiver, 88's a receiver. 88's the one that flip-flops. I wish they'd utilize him more.
Yeah, it seems to me like he is a good-looking player.
And
all right, that'll bring up a 2nd and 12. And nice fake by Logan. Nice throw out in the flat. Nice open field tackle.
Number 25.
Late flag, number 25, Matthew Moreno, on the tackle of number 23. And
I have no idea what that is unless the back judge called a holding.
a push in the back.
That was going to be marked off against Southwest.
Oh, I wonder if they called it on 88 because he made a nice block. I thought it was a clean block.
No, they're pointing. The referee is trying to explain exactly what's going on. And head coach John Haynes is out there disputing it. I don't believe you can walk on the field unless he calls timeout. But the referee, in deference to a team behind 50-6, might be making the right idea, Don. Let him have his say. And I would say, I'll explain it to you, and then if you want to argue, it's going to cost you a timeout. That's the way you handle that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You say you want to listen to me or you want to talk? Listening is free. Talking costs you a timeout. Simple enough. And there goes the penalty. And Southwest, of course, coach fighting for his team. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I saw the flag. I did not see the play. I kind of caught instant replay.
I thought he's the
nice shot of the Brawley High cheerleaders over here entertaining the Southwest Eagle crowd. And then back to the game. Southwest now with a second and 30-something, 20-something, I don't know. Ball's on the 14. They have to get to the 38. And a swing pass. They're going to get a lot of it back. Number 3 out there makes a nice catch, and it gets taken out of bounds. So he catches a lot of that back up, Don, in one fell swoop.
Yeah, that was all the receivers right side throwback.
And Brawley's fallen for that twice now. And I'm sure they're going to see that in the films, and see that in the films, and see that in the films, and multiply that by 100. They will not fall for that again. Brawley up 50-6, 6:35 to go. And interesting game if you are a Wildcat fan. And some new folks in there. Here comes number 63, was going for a sack. And Logan Youngers gets out of bounds. Number 22, it looks like that's Dawson Figueroa, Brawley's backup quarterback and backup linebacker. He is now in the game. And it's going to be a first down for the Southwest Eagles. All right, that's going to, clock is moving. First and 10, Eagles from their own 45-yard line. And back to pass is Logan Youngers. He throws it out in the flat, and somebody tried to run before they caught the football, and that would be number 23. And that is Mati Cervantes, a sophomore, also does some punting, Matai, Cervantes. And have him listed as a linebacker, and I think that's maybe where he'll be soon. Okay, 5:17 to go. Next Friday night, the webcast will originate from Brawley's Warren Field. Always happy to be there. Great view, great everything. And it's going to be a little give. Nice open field tackle out there by number 20, I believe. Was that 20? Although I don't have a 20. I hope it's not a 20. Look for an even number out there.
Yeah, there is number 20. There's a completely new defense in there. The only one that I had seen that's been in there was number 3. All these young men are completely different on the defensive line and in the backfield.
Okay, 4:35 to go. Brawley comfortably ahead, 50-6. I don't know if it's a running clock or not. We will see when things go out of bounds. Logan Youngers, just a sophomore. Oh, he throws out in the flat, and that one is dropped by number 3. That is surprising. Nate Smith has been a standout tonight for the Eagles, but that one just was a drop. And again, they're thinking about moving. They're thinking about making the catch and taking off, but you can't go anywhere without the football, Coach.
No, and especially when you're standing there with a first down in hands, all you had to do is catch it.
Yep. Tom Ronco, Coach Don Biaggi, with me for a second week. Very happy to have Don along. Hope you're enjoying his analysis. I am. And besides Don's football background, his broadcasting background goes back to some of those teams Ruben and I were talking about at halftime. The good old Desert League, Calipatria, Hauteville, Imperial. We covered them all. Game of the week. A lot of fun back in the late 1970s. And now we're going to have, I think, too many men on the field.
Penalty marked off on the field.
Nope.
Waved off.
Nope. Okay. You know, that's one of the toughest. I don't know if I'd make that call, because that is tough to be counting to 11 every play. And but Southwest always puts this man in motion, leaves a gunner down at the bottom of your screen, and they do a fake punt on 4th and 5. But Brawley, knowing they do not want to give up the football, and it is a running clock because the referee is signaling change of possession, change of chains, and this is going to be over fairly soon.
Friday night next week as we host the visiting Calexico Bulldogs. Once again, that is next.
Okay, that is and by the way, for those of you that caught Ruben Valenzuela at halftime, Don Biaggi, that game could well determine who's playing in the IVL next year and who's not. The Calexico Southwest, both with the two lowest power ratings currently in the IVL. And okay, so one of them could be out. Hauteville or Palo Verde could move up or not. One could be out, two could be out, we don't know. That's going to make it very, very difficult on fans, ADs, everybody. But we just know we'll show up game after game. Here's the Wildcats. I think Dawson Figueroa is the quarterback, number 22. And he's going to give it to number 25. That is Matthew Moreno. And number 79 does a couple of push-ups on top of Moreno, uncalled for and unnecessary, and they're going to pull him out of the game. So good move by the coaches. Their coaches are not going to put up with that. Shows class. Southwest showing class. Showing the class. All right, Figueroa now is going to be going to the victory, what they call a victory formation. He's going to take a knee. The final in this ball game will end up being 50-6 for the Brawley High Wildcats. We will join you next Friday night, and that is going to, game again is going to originate from
here at Southwest High School. It is a white ticket, 786.
And they are doing the 50-50, which has kept a lot of people here if you think you're going to win some money.
The announcer's booth at the top of the Southwest bleachers.
Okay.
It is a white ticket.
And they are letting the time roll down.
7-1-2.
And again, we will be back with you. Imperial on tap. It will be an important Imperial Valley League game. And again, one more snap of the football, and that will do it. Great game by the Wildcats. And lots of people got to get in the scorebook. And nice, Don, when you can have everybody going home feeling successful.
Absolutely. The game was well done. That one quarter that Southwest had that great drive down and didn't score. And then it took them a while to regroup. And in that, I believe the third quarter, was it, that they scored 6, or the second quarter they scored 6, and that was good life from Southwest. They got to think about that, not think about the negative that happened to them today, the mistakes they may have made. Quit on those and start building on the best parts of your game.
I'll tell you one thing, they have played well against similar competition. They have hung in the games. They have not been, and I think that's just going to be the next level for the Southwest Eagles. All right, a look at the scoreboard. Brawley 50, the Southwest Eagles 6. Next Friday night from Warren Field, we will be there. We would like to one more time, if I can, let me see if I got all my, no I don't, so I'll go over here to this one. I want to give our sponsors one more shout out before we go. Maybe over here. Okay. Yeah, maybe not. And we haven't left yet, folks. Hang on. We got to give our sponsors a shout out. I will not go away with. Now I can't. Oh, there it is. All right. Here we go. Wildcat football brought to you by. Nope, wrong. And then it gives me the wrong one. Okay. Wildcat football brought to you by Brant Beef, One World Packers, Ojeda Industries, The Man Company on Main Street in Brawley. Oh, brownies in the town pump. Oh my goodness, I forgot to tell you about that. Before we go anywhere, let's talk about brownies. It was not on my list, it was on my to-do list, and my apologies to Gabe and Juanita. The town pump, which has been serving meals out of Brownies Cafe since the pandemic, will no longer do that as of Tuesday. On Tuesday, they are going to reopen the town pump in Westmoreland. So Brownies becomes Brownies, the town pump becomes the town pump, and I should have got you that in the pregame show. I hope everybody's hung around to hear that, and Gabe and Juanita, they'll be ready for you. And the reason I didn't see Gabe is he's been out there working for 3 or 4 days, Don, getting the place ready to go. And I'm happy, I'm ready for it. Also brought to you by Desert RV and Fry Chapel and Mortuary, Clicka Parker Insurance, Clayton Drain Tile and Maintenance, Lidco and Carter Taylor, Jordan Central Implements, OK Rubber Tire Company, Johnny's Burritos, the Dom Team for Real Estate, Hart Insurance Centers, and we'd like to remind you, broadcast rights to this BUHS contest have been granted to the Desert Review by Brawley Union High School District and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the production without the express written consent of Brawley Union High School District is prohibited. From Freeway Field at Southwest High School, Tom Ronco with Don Biaggi saying, see you next Friday night. Good night.